Welcome to Ecosystems Around You.
Hi, welcome to my backyard. I think that one of the best ways that you can learn about ecosystems is by exploring the ones around you. So I didn't go anywhere fancy today. I'm just in my backyard. And when we're talking about photosynthesis and we're talking about plants, there's one kind of plant that I don't like, that I want to get rid of, but I can also use to help me learn. And that is some weeds here. So we're going to look at, I've got some weeds growing, of course, in my my little rock bed here. So I'm going to pull them out. And I got my gloves on. But something I like to use, I can use these to help me learn a little bit about plants too, because you can see these plants, they are growing roots. That's sucking in that water that they need. And remember, them being outside, we've got a lot of air that we breathe in, but remember, we're breathing out that carbon dioxide, and that's what plants take in. And you know what else is outside that they need to grow? That sunlight. So the photosynthesis is happening even when I don't want it to, right? When we don't want things like weeds to grow. But it's really kind of cool sometimes just to pull these things out in your yard and kind of just observe them and see how it works, because obviously we can't see photosynthesis happening in front of us, but obviously these weren't here before. I had them all pulled up, they were all gone, and then they came back. So, what's replanting them? Are there seeds around? So let's go and explore some more in my yard. I know we already looked at those weeds that were growing, but I also have this flower pot of some flowers I had from this summer. And now that it's fall and we're going into winter, they're dying. And they're not made to last. They're made for warmer months, lots of sunshine, and we're getting less and less sunshine, and obviously it's colder. So once again, I'm going to use this to kind of help me learn a little bit about plants. And one of the ways I like to do it is just kind of getting in here. Remember, they don't need soil to live. What do they need? Can you remember those three parts? Oh, I broke it. Let's see if I can get a good root for us. Those geraniums don't want to come up. Okay. Look at this. These had some really deep roots. So you can see those roots. And what do the plants use for those roots? You can hear my neighbor friends too. Those roots are used to suck in that water because plants need that water. What are those leaves catching? They're catching the sunlight. And then what's it taking in from the air? We are taking in oxygen and releasing carbon dioxide. And plants use carbon dioxide to make their food so that they can grow. And they actually are releasing oxygen. They don't need that. So we do want to use our plants. But maybe you have a planter or some weeds around your backyard that maybe would be okay for you to look at and kind of rip up. I always think it's super duper fun to see what these roots look like. Look at the roots of this geranium. They're all yellow. They look kind of like worms. Sometimes my dogs like to try to grab things like this and chew on them. But yeah, these are our producers, our plants. So you can see those, just around where you live, maybe in a green space, in a backyard, in a park. Okay, so get out there and check them out. And don't ruin anything unless you have permission. Don't get me in trouble. We've talked a lot about how animals have adaptations, but plants have adaptations too. So another part in my backyard that I found are these. And this is fallen off of a tree. You see those? Something I noticed. I'm gonna take my glove off here. When you look at those, they're really spiky. See that? I always step on them when I'm barefoot in the backyard. That's actually an adaptation for a plant. What do you think it does? Can it grab onto an animal, like get stuck in its fur, and the animal can take it? Because what is this? Is this a seed? It's a seed that it has this adaptation of these spikes to help it hold on to things or hold on to the ground. Because when I find them deep in the ground. They get stuck in, they get stepped on, or they can go and move around by the animals that are around here. So that is an adaptation for this plant to help it get more trees and reproduce. So that is an adaptation out here. So it is really neat to see some of those actual like parts of the ecosystem that we've been talking about just right here in front of us. Let's go find some more. This summer, my mom gave me this little birdhouse, and I can see sticks inside. And we're gonna open up the back and see the evidence of a little birdie being in there, seeing what the bird has created. And I have not opened this yet. Look at it. So there's evidence of what the bird has done there. So the consumer has lived here. It made a nest, and I saw it flying in there in the summer. I haven't seen it lately, so I wonder if that bird has migrated and gone elsewhere. But it's definitely left its mark in my little birdhouse. So just another example of evidence of finding those parts of ecosystems everywhere. Another decomposer that you might spot besides seeing mushrooms about are things like plants that are actually decomposing. This summer I went to my friend's house and she gave me this beautiful sunflower that was growing in her garden. Look at that. Isn't that so pretty? I loved it, and I enjoyed having it on display in my house. But then when it started breaking down, when it started looking ugly, I decided to hang it upside down in my backyard. So 2 months later, let's see what it looks like. Here is that same sunflower, and there is just I have a rope tied onto it. But you can see it's really crunchy now. I don't see any more green. Those colors that once were on it are all gone, and it's all brown. So I can't see the actual decomposers there. And I know you can't either. But what we can see is the evidence of those decomposers. We can see that they are breaking this sunflower down, and eventually it would be completely gone. So this is one of those other parts of our ecosystem that we can spot. Another time I find decomposers are when I buy fruits at the grocery store, like especially like berries. So strawberries, blueberries. Sometimes when I open them up, they might have like white fuzzy pieces on them. That's actually evidence of decomposition. So they're being broken down. Or you can sometimes see it on oranges or apples. So you can be on the lookout for decomposers or evidence of decomposers. You just got to pay attention. Keep your eyes open. All right, up there in those trees, I know you can't see them, but there are a bunch of squirrels that live up there. And those squirrels love to run in my yard, and they grab all kinds of little nuts and things, and they like to make my dogs bark at them. But those are herbivores. Okay, they are consumers that only eat plants, and so right now they are preparing for the winter. So I will see them gathering all kinds of acorns in my backyard, and I'll show you some evidence of them picking up acorns as well. Also, what I see sometimes, and I know we can't see it right now, is flying in the sky at times. I will see a hawk. The hawk is looking for that squirrel. So the hawk is actually, a consumer that is looking and hunting during the day. So I can spot those a lot of times. Some others that I've spotted in my backyard are, I've spotted a fox, spotted deer, and a coyote. So I can see evidence of those consumers all over the place too. So I like to walk my dogs every day, and I have to show you what those squirrels have left when I walk around my neighborhood. They leave these acorns all over the sidewalk, and these are like the shells. So here's one that's fully intact, but they like break them open, they take them, and then they leave a mess. So these are, a producer. This is what they eat. This is their food. So they are getting them all set for winter. So evidence of those consumers being around eating these producers that fell off of trees.
You've seen ecosystems around me. Now, what parts of ecosystems are around you? Try to find some evidence of producers, consumers, and decomposers. Good luck. Have fun.
Peace.